Oh, that's nice and wet, thank you, Duke. Duke, I am not a scratching post. I haven't read out one comment, this is just chaos. Ugh. Balls, just hanging around. Mickey. So I've just gone to start the video and Duke is covered in water. He has just gone and dunked his whole face in the water bucket, drunk so much. Then he came over here with water still in his mouth and just went bleh. And then all the water has just very narrowly missed my lap. Luckily, I just have it a bit on my hand, but your chin, oh my, how is your chin so wet? You're like a little billy goat with a little, okay, you can sniff my boots. Okay, Duke's going off. Anyway, time for the intro. Hello everybody, I hope you are doing well and welcome back to Stable Talk. In my last episode, we did pet peeves, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about your best riding moments, those moments that just make you go speechless and are just absolutely magical. But anyway, before we do that, I'm going to tell you what our next Stable Talk episode is going to be, and that is going to be cheeky ponies. So before we start, I'm going to talk about some of the cheeky things my ponies do. Mickey's having a scratch, Duke has wandered off, and I guess like one of the first things I could say is, you know, Duke likes to put his wet mouth in my lap, so that's a little bit cheeky. So I thought I'd start off with, what Duke likes to do apart from that. And every morning when I come up here to make the horses their breakfasts, obviously I have to go into the feed room, shut the door. Now this was tricky when we didn't have power because I had to use a torch at the same time because there's no windows, it's just darkness. So obviously I have to shut the door so Duke doesn't come in. And what does he do? Every single morning, he turns around, puts his butt to the door and presses the door shut, so you cannot get out. So Duke's kind of like locking you in the feed room. You think it'd be the other way around and he tried to get in and want to get the food, but no. Also, just as I've said that, Duke's gone over to Joey's bucket and started drinking some water out of that. So he has water out in the field. He just must, you know, he wants to take the other horse's water. Mickey's a little bit more calm. But next is Casper, and his cheeky habit is, well, you probably know this, rolling. Every single time, put him out in the field, he rolls. It is his favourite thing. I actually have a comment from someone that I'm going to talk about later about that. But yeah, he's never clean at all. Joey's cheeky habit is, I said this in the pet peeves, is he goes and wheezes in his stables and as he goes in, especially on new shavings. But he also does what Duke does. I don't know if it's a young horse thing, but he will put his nose in the water bucket or water trough, come up, and I don't think he knows how to drink properly, which sounds absolutely bizarre. But he'll come over to you and just empty his mouth and water will just get all over you. He's so messy. Also, Joey is way too nosy for his own good. For example, he's fine to have the vet over and float his teeth or like the horse dentist, but we have to sedate him, not because he's worried about, oh, that's nice and wet, thank you, Duke. Not because he's worried about all the tools and the noises and things like that. It's because he tries to look what's happening. Like, he is so nosy. He's like, oh, what's happening to the other horses? Oh, what's happening to me? Oh, I want to say hi to the, like, equine dentist. And it's like, no, Joey, you need to stand still for, like, half a second so we can get this done. Joey is a little bit of a fidget. He, is one of those horses that has a very busy brain and you have to keep him busy. So for example, when I ride him, I have to do lots of transitions and things to keep him happy and keep him occupied if not he gets a little bit bored. Same with clipping, like he's fine with clipping. He doesn't care being clipped, but he just gets a bit fidgety and he's like, okay, I'm a bit bored of this now. So we can give him lots of food when I clip him. But anyway, we've got a new Mickey, best till last. Mickey's cheeky habit. Mickey, as you guys know, has a lot of character. Eating my mic, boofing me off my chair when I'm doing stable talks. That's why, you know, me and Mickey are social distancing a bit. I'm quite far away from him for this episode because I was like, okay, I'm fed up with him licking me, eating my mic. I might move back later if you're being good, but I was like, I need to get the intro done at least before I get absolutely covered in this guy's slobber. It's not cheeky, this is just like a weird thing that he does, so also be sure to comment down weird things that your horses do. Mickey gets so excited when it comes to dinner time, he physically shakes. Like when we bought him, his previous owners had to tell us this. It was like really important because they were like, do not freak out, but Mickey will shake. Like he shakes his leg. He just gets so excited. As I say that, Duke has decided to go and have a little chew on Mickey's rug. Dukey, Dukey Pookie, are you coming back? Come on, come back. Good boy, you coming? So yeah, they are my horses. I'm probably going to think of more later when I film the next video. But those are my horses' main cheeky habits or weird things that they like to do. Yes, yes. Duke, you're just rubbing your wet mouth all over me. You're like a dog. You're more like a dog than a pony. Yes. So anyway, be sure to comment down below your horse's cheeky habits or weird things that they like to do. Duke, now is not the time for kisses. I need to train him not to do that all the time because obviously I don't mind being kissed by him or him giving me a little nose tickle. Yes. But if he goes and does that to a stranger or somebody who's not used to horses, they're not going to be happy. Mickey, oh my goodness. This might as well be the cheeky habits video. Mickey has been wormed. Don't worry, he doesn't have worms. He's just, being a cremello, has really sensitive skin. So that's another cheeky habit he likes to do. He will rub his butt on absolutely everything. Before we had these stables, we had a barn for a little bit, and that used to have like marks all down the side where he'd rub on it. He doesn't have like sweet itch or anything like that. It's literally just him with his sensitive cremello skin. It gets Duke, it gets a little bit worse this time of year as it gets colder and wetter. Duke, this is you need to stop doing this. It's very cute, but not everybody likes it, okay? But yeah, they're my cheeky habits. Also, when you comment down below, I'll be reading out all of my subscribers' ones, so please subscribe as it really does help me out and I really do appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into today's video, which is all about your best riding moments. Duke, what is this? Do you just want to scratch? You can't just lean all your body weight onto me. Okay, let Mickey lick your face. And another strange thing my horses like to do, they like to lick each other's faces, especially Mickey. Mickey loves to lick Duke and lick Joey as well, like they'll lick each other over the fence. It's so strange. And now you guys want to eat my hood. Okay, guys, we need to get into the subscribers' best horsey moments. Guys, we're trying to film a video here. Bit of professionalism. Okay, I know Duke's a baby and you're new to this, but Mickey, you've been on the game for so long now. Okay, you have your... Duke, I am not a scratching post. Duke, that is really bad behaviour. We can't let you get into bad habits. If you want to scratch, I'll give you a scratch. Okay, Duke wants to scratch while I read out the first... Mickey, that is my hood. I thought I'd be in the safe zone being further away from him. Guys, I haven't even read out one comment yet. I haven't read out one comment, this is just chaos. Okay, so before we start, I just want to say a huge thank you to every single person who commented their best riding moment in my last video. We had over 1,500 comments and that is just incredible. It's mind-blowing, and I just wanted to say how grateful I am to have such a lovely community. You know, there's so many of you guys. For example, there was one person who said that their horse has accidentally gone into foal and they were asking for foal names, and there were hundreds of comments after that, people suggesting names and things. So I just want to say thank you for being such a lovely community. I love, you know, reading your guys' comments. So anyway, let's begin. Also, I just want to say apologies if I don't read yours out. Obviously there was 1,500. I did read all of them, but unfortunately I can't fit them all into one video. But let's start. Duke, okay, he thinks I'm another horse and that because I give him scratchies he should scratch me back, but okay, I know you're liking the scratchies, but you can't scratch me back, mate. Okay, so the first one is from Hayley Wolf, and she says, one of my favourite equestrian moments was when I was taking my Welsh for a trail ride in the snow. In typical Welsh fashion, he is obsessed with the snow, and I could feel how happy he was. Oh my goodness. I don't think Duke has ever seen the snow before. Obviously, he's a Welshie, so maybe he'd like the snow. That would be really interesting. Part of me, like, I hope we have snow this winter because it's so pretty for photos. It looks really nice, but then when it just turns to slush and then ice, it's absolutely horrible, and I'm not a big fan of the cold, so it'll be nice for a day to get some content and some cute photos and see what Duke thinks to it, but then after that I'm done, I'm good. I always feel sorry for all the animals in the snow as well, because in England we usually don't have that much, especially where I live, but we'll see. Also, she was just saying how incredible that moment was. I feel like it's always the sort of moments with horses where you least expect it that are the most magical. Like, it's the little things. So for her to be able to go on that trail ride and it be beautiful and her horse just being so happy, it just must have been incredible. Okay, so this next one is from Megan Huther, and she says, I love watching new riders develop their riding. I've recently been teaching a first-time rider how to groom a horse, how to walk, and how to lead their horse. I love seeing their progress and how much they love it. That just warms my heart. Seeing somebody enjoy your passion as much as you do is just the absolute best feeling. Back when I was in school, I used to do this thing called Yellow, which is the Young Equestrian Leaders Award, that gives you like UCAS points, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. So I did it for like extra points at school and things, but I also did it because I really enjoyed it and it was just so rewarding. I used to volunteer at like my local riding school, and I used to also so I worked there, and I also used to, like, every pony club camp I would do when I moved from junior camp to senior camp, I'd always help out at the junior camp because I honestly loved it so much. Even though I wasn't riding, it was so nice to see all the kids that, you know, loved it as much as I did when I was growing up, and it was nice to see all the instructors. I did some leading and helping out and teaching and things, so that honestly, it was so much fun. I've also done some work with the RDA, and if you have the time to, please volunteer. They're always looking for volunteers there, and the work they do is just absolutely incredible. And honestly, like, watching other people, like, I love going on Instagram and seeing other people's like equestrian journeys, especially if they've just started out, and seeing them progress and things. It is just honestly amazing, and I love it. So that's also another reason why I just love this community that we have. It's just awesome, guys. Okay, next we have, sorry you guys are not having the best angle here, you literally have Duke's butt, but oh Mickey, you're grooming him. Oh my god, that is so cute. Yeah, you're so cute. Oh, these guys are little lovebirds. They're like little besties, licking each other. Oh, Duke, you have a massive wet patch on you now. Anyway, on to the next one. Infinity Wolf says, my favourite moment would be when I rode through the woods for the first time ever. I felt really proud of myself, and it was really fun, especially when we galloped under the trees. Again, I feel like hacking is always just so magical. You know, being at one with your horse, especially if you're galloping as well, like, everyone wants to go fast. But I'm also taking Casper to the woods this afternoon, so I'm really looking forward to that, especially this time of year being autumn. Like, everywhere you walk, it feels like you're in a movie or a film because it's like all the pretty colours, and yeah, I feel like when I'm hacking, sometimes I feel like a Disney princess. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I love it, I love it. Next person is Elmo, and their favourite equestrian moment was when I touched this horse's face. It doesn't seem like much, but he's head shy and he spooks at a lot of things. He was new to the barn, and it was maybe his 3rd week there. I had him for camp. He wouldn't let me touch his shoulder without swinging his head around to the other side. It was probably 3 days after I first pet him. I was standing next to him and was petting him. I slowly went from his shoulder to his neck and then to his face, and he stood calmly, letting me reach and touch him. This experience made me realise how special and incredible it is to have such a majestic animal put their trust in you like that. Oh my goodness, I feel like those sort of moments where it doesn't seem like much, but to you it's everything, are the best. Like, you know, from that is such a big milestone, so congratulations. To have a horse that's, you know, very timid and shy. Casper was very similar. He wasn't that bad, but he definitely wasn't the biggest fan of having his face touched. Now, when I groom him on his face, he falls asleep, which is just amazing. Duke, you've come back with your wet nose. I'm trying to talk. Don't eat the mic. Oh my goodness, Duke. Ugh. I have just got your wet nose all over my face. Duke, look at this. What have you done? This is why with horses, you just expect to get wet and dirty, like whatever you're doing. Sitting here, minding my own business. Duke, we were talking about such a magical moment then, and you had to come and ruin it. But anyway, yeah, moments like those where it's like feels like the most difficult thing, for example, touching a horse's face, to slowly put all that effort in and slowly, very gently do it and slowly see them put trust in you is just absolutely Duke, you're really spoiling the moment here. You're really spoiling the moment. It's incredible. Anyway, he was a little quieter when we first got him, and now look at him. You can't get him out of my face. So it was really lovely to see in my last video where I did like a day in the life with Duke, or a Duke update, what's happening with Duke. You guys seeing how much he's come out of his shell. You can really see today his personality has tripled in size. Duke, excuse me, you can't just boof me like that, okay? Anyway, on to the next one. Did you like the little ear tickle? I've never really tickled your ears much. Do you like the ear tickle? Ooh, he likes the ear tickle. Anyway, okay. All right, this next one is from MS, and they say, okay, here you go. Just having them. Just having those horses in my life and knowing that they're there all the time. It's the most amazing thing ever. I think so many people get bogged down with going out and competing and getting that first place rosette and things, but the best thing about riding is honestly just being with the horses, having that bond, and especially when it comes to Duke giving me a very wet kiss or Mickey licking me. Like, I honestly just love. Yes, I should regret. Do I regret saying that now you've been so cheeky today? But no, honestly, I love just coming up here and just spending time with the horses, with them chilling out in the field or in their stables, just hanging around. Mickey. This has been like the most chaotic stable talk. I thought this was going to be, you know, so like calm and lovely, talking about like the best moments, and here I am just getting absolutely just horses. Okay, next we have Cream Star Animates, and they say, when my horse finally cantered in the right lead, when I won my first event and when I jumped for the first time. I really feel that with you, with the right lead, because when I first got Casper, he would be disunited on the right rein every single time I cantered him. The way actually that we managed to teach him to do it correctly is he would always get it correct. If I went over a jump first, he'd land on the right lead, so I'd do like a little jump, and then I'd just carry on cantering him when he got it correct, because then that would build up those muscles, and now he finds it easier to do it with the correct muscles and do it on the right lead, so it's something I haven't had to worry about for years now. Also, that's kind of how I got into YouTube. I used to get my parents to film me because they're not horsey, so I could watch back and I could try and learn what it felt like when he got it correct and when he got it wrong. So that's how I got into roping my parents into filming me, and yeah, just uploaded videos onto YouTube as somewhere to store them and keep them safe, and it kind of accidentally became into whatever this is. But yeah, no, congratulations on all of that, you know, working really hard to get somewhere. The satisfaction of when hard work pays off, it is just the best feeling, so well done. Next we have Kenna Stodala. I'm really sorry to anybody who I pronounced their name wrong. I'm really sorry, but I'm trying my best. My favourite equestrian moment is when you get the first photo of a horse with their ears forward after a whole camera roll of pinned ears back. Oh, I feel this one. This one I relate to so hard. That's so funny. That's such a good comment. With the horses, Duke's actually probably the best because he's done the least amount of photo shoots. So if I put the horse sounds app on my phone, or if somebody's waving something or throws a bit of sand up in the air, he's like, ooh, interesting. When Mickey, Casper and Joey, they know all the tricks. They're used to that. So often like the best thing for getting ears forward is if my grandparents are walking around like the garden and things and they're like walking behind a hedge, the horse is gonna go, ooh, what's that? And they like look at it. But yeah, having an extra person always helps. But yeah, the amount of photos I've had to delete with horses with their ears back. Not because like they're grumpy or anything. Actually, sometimes Casper can be grumpy. He's the grumpiest out of all the horses. But it's more that they're just relaxing and they're just like, yeah. But or they're listening to something else, they're distracted by something else. That's usually Joey. Joey gets easily distracted. Next, we have a comment from Danae Shipton. Again, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. My favourite equestrian moment is when me and my mum were at Equidays, which is like a New Zealand show. So hi to all of everybody from New Zealand that watches my videos. Team New Zealand, you guys comment a lot. I would love to go there at some point. We'll have to wait and see. Probably not for a long while, but definitely New Zealand's on the list. So yeah, shout out to all of you guys. And on my last night of the show, they were cantering greys to music with fairy lights on their saddles. Oh my goodness, I can just imagine how cool that would have looked. To me, it was such an amazing experience, and every time I hear the song that they rode to, it gives me goosebumps. I feel like live performances like that always get me all goosebumpy if it's like live songs or... So I can totally imagine that, and just seeing all those horses galloping. Like, I love going to the shows and seeing it live. It's just... It's amazing, it's amazing. So next we have Isha Hawlian, and she says, my favourite moment was when I walked my first pony into the box and took him home. Oh my goodness, congratulations on getting your first pony. I feel like that is such a magical moment. Even getting like your first lone pony, you know, with Joey, I did like a little video on my phone of our first day together when he first came home, and I was like tearing up in the video. I think I might put it at the beginning of my 1 year with Joey edit. But I was like tearing up because I was like thinking of all the amazing memories that we'd make, even though they hadn't happened yet. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. So congratulations. And lastly, we have Raven Doodles 101, and she said cantering, or as a Western rider, loping. It felt like I was flying and just so free, and I'm sure I had the biggest smile on my face. It was great. Oh, that is amazing. Like, I feel like I honestly, it's kind of sad. I can't remember my first time cantering because I was probably like 6 at the time. So it was a really long time ago. But if you're like new to riding and you're older and you can remember it, I feel like it's just like the little things. I recently started a new sport that I do like once every week, once every 2 weeks, which is called bouldering, which is kind of like rock climbing but without a harness, but you don't go up as high. It's more about the strategy. And being able to feel the improvement from week after week is just so satisfying and rewarding. So if you're, you know, riding for the first time, it is difficult. It does take a little while to get there, but once you've built up those muscles and you know, get those skills, it just seems like second nature, and it's amazing to see. Like, that's why also I started doing YouTube, for Casper, like watching Casper's progress, looking back, see how much we've improved. And this last one isn't actually, this is related to my pet peeves video, and I said I'll come back to it later, and this is about greys who roll. And apparently, biologically, it makes sense for greys to roll because in like mud, especially if they're in a muddy, grassy area all the time, because being sort of that bright, they stand out. So to be able to roll and get dirty, it makes them more camouflaged. So you know, maybe all of my horse's ancestors were very clever and that's the reason why they roll. Or Casper just wants me to clean him again. But it's probably the first one. But yeah, that's actually really interesting. You know, Casper's like, oh, better not let the predators get me. I'm gonna go and make my owner's life a misery. But anyway, I am going to finish off today's video here because I think I've been talking for way too long. I could talk and ramble about horses all day long, but I think that might be a little bit boring for you guys. Also, Duke has been very good. He's been a little bit more distracted today. He's really come out of his shell. Have you been talking to Mickey? Have you got some cheeky plans? Oh, just to say that, I'm gonna put your butt in my face. Duke. Dude, that is so bad. You cannot do that. You cannot do that to people. It's cute for half a second, but I can't let you get into bad habits. Okay, you ready to do the outro? You mentally prepared? You're not going to go and start doing something stupid? You've crossed your legs out. Okay. Anyway, guys, be sure to comment down below your ponies or horses, or the horses that you ride, their cheeky moments. Also be sure, like, I'm going to be reading out my subscribers one, so be sure to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video and getting to the end of it, because I feel like this might be quite a long one. We'll see. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! See, you stood nice and still for that. What a good pony. Yeah, you're getting there. You're really cheeky today, aren't you? You're really getting out of your shell. Yeah? Oh, Duke, what are you going to be like when you're older, We're not going to let you get too wild, though. You've got to still, you know, still do your training. Oh, that's what you want. That's what you want, the scratchies. Don't worry, Mickey. We can't leave you out. You've been very good today. It's because you can't reach me. I feel bad being so far away from you. Maybe next time I'll sit closer. But you can't go eating my mic. No. Mickey hugs.